Hello everyone, my name is Claire and I'm your yoga teacher. So hello and welcome to yoga. Just a little short introduction really, just to get rid of any preconceptions that people think yoga is. Yoga can be whatever you want it to be, and yeah, maybe it does take time to find your type of instructor. I teach Hatha and Vinyasa. So Hatha is poses that you hold for a little bit longer. It's not so rushed, it's quite slow and relaxing. And Hatha is all about learning to connect to your breath, connecting your mind to your breath. Vinyasa is really fun as well. It's a bit more energetic. You're still using your breath. As you inhale, this would be one Vinyasa. And as you exhale, that's another Vinyasa. It's about flowing and building up a bit more heat in the body. So yeah, welcome to yoga. Yoga is much more than just physical movement. Yoga is really about connecting to the mind and the body. And for me, I would say that yoga has been really just, it's part of my daily routine. And when I say it's part of my daily routine, that doesn't always mean that I'm sitting on the mat and that I'm moving my body. Sometimes, literally, yoga for me is just understanding how I feel, understanding what's going on, and just observing what's going on in my head. And when I need to kind of just take a step back and just close my eyes and tuning to my breath. So for me, I would say that yoga is a kind of a mindfulness practice for myself. To really listen rather than just be on autopilot and plow through. So let's get going. So first thing really is, obviously, if you have or experience any sort of pains, then don't carry on with the moves. And it's really about learning about your body. So there's certain things that I know that I just can't do in yoga because I have sore knees. It's not worth doing just to achieve the move. If it doesn't feel good, don't do it. That way we're all safe. So firstly, really, let's get grounded. So really important to figure out if seated is for you. If you find that your knee's up here, which is absolutely normal for yoga, go now, pause the video, go and grab some cushions. You can grab some pillows, anything that you've got, so that you can raise your seat or your throne up super high. So go for that. I'm going to grab something. So here I'll just grab maybe a cushion. So I guess it's the first test of yoga really, because actually have we allowed the ego to take over? Are we sitting in the class like this when actually we need to just take care of ourselves and choose the most comfortable position, because that's really what yoga's about. So I've chosen a little cushion just so I'm more comfortable. It's helping tilt the pelvis, it's helping me stay upright. So really using this time now just to find some grounding, and know that if you really don't like being seated, go and grab a chair and sit in the chair and find grounding through your feet. Right now I'm grounding into my sit bones. I'm just trying to settle my busy body, my busy mind. And here we're just taking this moment to be present, finding some silence. So perhaps just close down the eyes. Tuning in to your breath. Tuning in to how your body is feeling. Have you even noticed how your body is feeling? Have you been so busy that you've only just realised that maybe your hips hurt or your shoulders are sore? So bring in that self-awareness to your body and noticing any chatter that may be going on in the mind. Perhaps I'm not flexible, I can't do yoga. One of the top phrases that I hear. You don't have to be good to do yoga. You just have to show up. I'd like you to draw attention to your breath. So we're not trying to change anything here, we're just noticing the breath. Perhaps even noticing the sounds, the background noises within your house. Noticing how the chest expands as you inhale and how the belly presses out when you exhale. Maybe even bringing one hand to your chest and one just below your belly button. Inhale. Chest expands. As you exhale, belly is pressing out. And as we begin to connect to the breath, it's not just breathing, it's slowing down and calming the nervous system. And maybe even noticing that your breaths are short and perhaps they're now longer, because you're consciously bringing the awareness to your breath. Here we're going to really work at making our breath longer. So I invite you to bring your hands to your belly button region. Oh my goodness, great first yoga class, guys. Okay, bring in your hands to your belly button. Smile, because actually yoga doesn't have to be so serious. Oh dear. Okay, so inhale through the nose, deep breath, inhale. Expanding the lungs. And then exhale, release everything. You can release through the mouth. Inhale through the nose this time, and you're breathing into the abdominal area, just this area for 1, 2, 3, holding the breath here. And then exhale, release. Inhale, when you're ready, breathing back into the navel area for 1, 2, 3. Like you've got a little box and you're holding your breath there. Exhale, release. On your next inhale, breathing into the navel for 1, 2, 3. Up to the rib cage, 4, 5, 6. And exhale. On your next inhale, breathing back into the navel for 1, 2, 3. Up to the rib cage, 4, 5, 6. Top of the chest, 7, 8, 9 if you can. Hold. And exhale, release. And just take a moment here. As we breathe up to 9, sometimes this can be quite a challenge. So just, again, showing kindness to yourself, just observing that. And you will notice if you practice again and again, the expansion of the lungs will come easier and you'll relax more. I definitely found this breathing technique very difficult when I first started. I was like, oh my goodness, I can't breathe. So just take a moment, reshuffle, take a deep breath, inhale, sigh through the mouth, just releasing that tension. So we'll try that breath again and just enjoy experimenting just briefly with all of these things just to get us started, the art of showing up to yoga. So inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. And on your next inhale, breathing in to the navel for 1, 2, 3. Up to the rib cage, 4, 5, 6. Top of the lungs, 7, 8, 9. Hold if you can. And exhale, release. When you're ready, on the next inhale, into the navel for 1, 2, 3. Rib cage, 4, 5, 6. Top of the lungs, 7, 8, 9. Hold. Exhale, release. You can do one more, just stay seated. Inhale back into the navel for 1, 2, 3. Rib cage 4, 5, 6. Top of the lungs 7, 8, 9, and hold. And then exhale, release. And perhaps you just want to close down the eyes. Chin can dip down. And just taking a moment to notice how the breath has lengthened. Notice that the breath is slow. And I'm going to invite you to use an affirmation. It might be your thing, it might not be, absolutely fine. Very simple affirmations I like to use. So for today or tonight, I am using now is good. So now is good. So you can say this in your head. You can take a deep breath, inhale through the nose. Exhale. And just say to yourself or out loud, now is good. Now is good. And conjure some images in your mind about things that really are good about now. Even if we're feeling challenged to think, well, now isn't good, we're in a lockdown. Now isn't good. How can we reframe our mind to just tuning into gratitude and finding out, what do we think is good? Is this moment good? Telling yourself that now is good. There is something good about now. I'm trying to sell this to you. But no, seriously, now is good. Excellent. Now let's move our body, shall we? So moving the body is called an asana. So it's a move within the body. So I'm just going to tie my hair back. Let's release some tension and experiment what your body needs. Maybe just even bring your hands to your neck. Just give yourself that compassion and just really get those fingers into the neck. Just massage anything. Notice any aches or pains, anything that just needs working. And here, bringing your chin to your chest and breathing in. But don't worry too much about the breath. Just enjoy the process. Inhale, chin to chest. And then exhale, finding that neutral point and discovering that maybe the neutral point is like this. So really, can you relearn what neutral is? Draw the chin in a little bit, push it back. Good. Inhale, ear to shoulder. And then exhale back to center. And in your own time here, feeling free. Inhale, other side. Exhale back to center. Inhale, over you go. Long breath, exhale, center. Already releasing that tension in the neck. Inhale. And exhale, center. And drawing circles with your nose. So experiment with this and just thinking there's no right or wrong in yoga, so it's not about copying me completely. So you can draw small circles with the nose, so you really get into all those little nooks and crannies. And then you can increase the circles that you draw with the nose, so that you're making a whole circle. Just keep in mind that this isn't for everybody doing a whole circle. So sometimes a semicircle is good too. I feel like I'm now teaching shapes and I've turned into an LSA. Good. So just exploring that movement and now taking these circles in a different direction. So small circles. And if you feel like, oh, well, those circles were over a bit too quickly, you can just pause the video and just tune into what your body needs and do this for longer. And now bringing my chin to my chest and really creating some big circles, and as you can see, completely closing the eyes down. Good. Another favourite move would be the shrugs. So as we inhale, you're bringing the shoulders up towards your ears, and sometimes maybe we're like this permanently, who knows. And as you exhale, you're releasing the tension in the shoulders. I see the tension drop as I teach students this. So inhale, exhale, release. Inhale, exhale, release. Excuse the train in the background. Inhale, exhale, release. Couple more. Excellent. And remember, you can be doing this in a chair. You don't have to be seated like me. If you feel like, oh, my ankles are going dead, you can fidget around, get comfy. Let's do a twist. As you inhale, bring the arms all the way up, stretching those arms. If they come all the way up, great. If not, don't worry. Just leave them where they are. I'm rolling my shoulders back. I'm opening up the chest, sucking the tummy in. As I exhale, I'm bringing the arms down, opposite hand, opposite knee. Perhaps it comes to the outer edge of the thigh. So I'm bringing my left hand to my right thigh. As I inhale, I'm rising up, engaging my core. And as I exhale, I'm gazing behind. I'm up on my fingertips. Just be sure not to slouch like this. So you want to keep your hand quite close to your body as you twist. Using your breath here. Inhale. And as you exhale, you're perhaps exploring that twist, going a little bit deeper if it feels good, or you're just using your breath to stay where you are. Stay where you are. Stretching our upper thoracic spine here. Inhale, bring those arms all the way up. Shoulders down, chest is open. Exhale, opposite hand, opposite knee, or creeping to the thigh, rising up. Exhale, gaze behind if it feels comfortable. You can just keep your head forward. Make sure that you're breathing. And then coming forwards. I'd like us to stir the pot. So get comfy. Make sure that you're tucking your tummy and you're really engaging your core. So choose the options for you. So a bit like what we're doing with the nose. Really small circles. Make sure you're engaging that core so we're not straining the lower back. And this is where it's up to you to experiment with what works for you. You can stay small. Maybe you want to creep all the way forward, bend the arms a little bit. Stirring the pot. And maybe even coming back to the affirmation, now is good. Perhaps by now you might actually have thought of some really good reasons about the present moment. And then coming back, recentering yourself and changing directions to just coming forwards. And I've just realised I've gone into the big circle, so make sure that you do start with the small circles, staying safe. And if it feels good, then perhaps you delve a bit deeper and create big circles. Excellent. Thinking of all the lovely office workers as well. I'm expecting we're all working at home a lot more. Let's just do something fun for the fingers just to get them moving before we go on to all fours. So just tuning in to how your hands are feeling, just bringing that movement, increasing that circulation. Can you kind of flick the fingers out? I'm thinking of Twinkle Twinkle Little Star now. So I'm just morphing again from LSA to yoga teacher. That's it. Option to get a bit more into the arms and come all the way up to the top. And exhale, coming down. You should feel the heat and a bit of fatigue build up doing that. Clasping the fingers together, palms come together, and just bring some movement into the wrists. Lots of clicks. Good. And then from here, palms forward, palms away, shoulders back, and just enjoy that lovely stretch. Excellent. And carrying on, because my camera decided to cut out. So let's just, last two moves really, let's transition to all fours. If you've got sore knees, make sure you just put something underneath them, you know. Make sure that you are comfortable. Sore knees or sore wrists. I've got knobbly knees, so I'm going to use the cushion for this. And hands, make sure your hands are in line, so the typical thing would be to be here. So just tuning into that and bringing the hands underneath the shoulders, check that everything's in line. And are your knees underneath your hips? That's it. And you can tuck the toes under or have the feet flat, so you choose here. My fingers are spread out quite wide. I'm trying not to club the hands. And here I am. I'm going to drop the navel, so let me take this off. Actually, that makes sense. So I'm here. So I'm trying to create a neutral spine, so I actually need to tuck my tummy in and use my inner core. As I inhale, I'm tucking in, so I've got a neutral back. So when I'm being lazy, I'm more lordotic. So squeeze that inner core, tuck the navel into the lower spine. Good. So find that neutral. And I'm going to now stop and arch the back. So as I inhale, I'm gazing forward and down. I'm extending the back. As I exhale, I'm tucking the navel in. I'm rounding. This is cat-cow. Cat-cow? Cat-cow. As you inhale, gazing forward and down. As you exhale, gauge that core round, feeling it into the shoulders and the spine, really helping to increase the spine mobility. Inhale, you're extending the spine. I need so much more extension in my life. As you exhale, we're rounding. Practice using that breath in this move. Inhale, gazing forward and down, remember. And exhale, round. Now, option here to have a little go at down dog with me, just because I feel like it's a down dog needs to be done in your first yoga class. Spread those fingers nice and wide. Tuck the toes under, even if you just hold it for a minute. Engage that core, suck the navel in, and you're coming up, and might be what it looks like, and this is good. Keep those knees super bent, grounding into the hands and the top balls of the feet. Relax the head, so we're not trying hard, we're just exploring. So you're dangling the head, even nodding it. This is really good for the lymphatic system. And then I'm pedaling the legs out. So if you've got really tight hamstrings, just keep the knees bent and enjoy building that strength up in the shoulders. If you're enjoying this, you can pedal the heels down towards the ground. And this is your down dog. And then coming down to the knees into definitely the most important move of yoga. So here I've got a pillow. I would recommend layering up quite a lot if you've got tight hips or sore knees. So my knees are coming wide. You want to have lots of layers here if you're struggling to bring your bottom down towards your heels. So I'm here. I'm bringing my bottom down towards the heels. And then perhaps we come down to the forearms. And then maybe you rest the head down. This is Balasana. And if you've got tight hips, please don't force down. So what you need to do is you can make a little frame for yourself. And you're pressing into the shoulders. And you're just experimenting coming into the hips. And this should be more restful. You can rest your forehead on your forearms here. So just make sure that you're choosing the right option for yourself. Taking those deep breaths. And in your own time, when you're ready, finding your way, just turning around. It's coming into Shavasana, so grabbing a blanket, a duvet or a jumper just to make sure that you're warm. And then coming all the way down, allow the thighs to roll out, hands a little bit away from the body, Just centralize the neck, check it's not gone to one side. Closing down the eyes. And stay here for as long as you need to. Just allowing the whole body to relax. Closing down the eyes if you haven't already. Come out of your Shavasana, you can bring your arms over your head, bend the knees, rolling over to your right side, using your bicep or your shoulder as a pillow. And here, just take your time, maybe come back to the affirmation, now is good. And in your own time, come up to seated, crossing those legs, hands come to heart center, kind heart for yourself and others, so just bringing it into the real world. Just take this time like you are now for yourself. Kind words for yourself and others. Just really thinking about your dialogue inside your head, and also, how do you speak about yourself? And hands to your third eye, to your mind. Kind thoughts for yourself and others. And just using yoga to allow you to reset your mind and your body. Namaste. Thank you very much.